morning. Good morning. It is 8:02 on a Saturday morning. It is February the 8th. Rise and shine. Good morning to you. This is Coffee Talk. I'm grabbing my breakfast. I'm going to have it with you. I've been sipping coffee all morning. So, all right, perfect. Do that. Perfect. How are you? Are we having a great morning? I hope you're having a great start. It's a little foggy outside. That can't really do much about that. Here's a live look outside. This is our tower cam network in downtown. And, it's kind of funny. On the top left corner, you can see a little bit of blue sky. Just kind of depends on like what angle you're looking at, right? That's a shot from Orlando. Let me take you to another shot in downtown, and we'll take you to the Lake Eola Tower cam, right? That's a little higher, so it's up in the clouds. Our first warning live Doppler radar tower, kind of seeing that cloud fog around over toward the tourist district. Yeah, completely socked in. Orlando International Airport. Yep, Daytona Beach. All right, not too bad. New Smyrna Beach. Definitely getting foggier here. Port Canaveral has been super cool all morning. Like, I feel like there's a story. Like that shot alone is like, I feel like I don't know. You could like 'twas a foggy morning, which actually it makes me wonder, and I've said this all morning on the air. I haven't had a second to go in and look at like the cruise ship tracker. But with the fog like this, were the cruise ships able to make it into Port Canaveral, or are they just chilling off the shoreline? I don't know. I'm curious. Anybody know? If you check, let me know. At any rate, it's foggy outside, right? So we're calling it impact weather this morning for obvious reasons. Widespread fog, and essentially the visibility is down to near zero. Dense fog advisories in effect for just about all of us this morning until 9 a.m. Some spots will linger beyond that. Here's the visibility map. And we see spots that have less than a mile visibility, right? Orlando, Titusville, Leesburg. And like take, for example, DeLand and Sanford. You see how you're at 5 mile, even Daytona Beach, DeLand and Sanford. Even though you have a 5 mile visibility, your cloud ceiling is at 400 feet. So it's pretty low, which means that for you, we've got a pretty good amount of cloud cover masking things. So it is what it is. We'll be okay. When we look at our future cast, let me just dial this up here real fast. Give me 2 seconds. All right. So our futurecast fog tracker here. Notice by 10 a.m., still with the fog around, right? Still with that fog. 11, 12 o'clock, finally clearing out, right? So in some cases, it's probably going to take a while for that fog to completely clear out. But once it does, it will be a beautiful day. 11 o'clock, mostly cloudy skies. 1, 2, 3 o'clock, we'll start to see the sun shining more and more and more. Jeannie Rowan says, we'll be okay. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, we'll be okay, right? Still dense fog here, also a misty rain. Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. You're in the cloud, essentially, and that's just kind of the way that it is. Linda says, just check the tracker. Looks like the ships are in port. Interesting. They must have gotten in before the fog settled in. I mean, I would imagine that they probably were watching and did their best if they, I bet you the pilots probably got them in a little early. What do I know, though? But that's super interesting, at least to me. I don't know. All right. So for today, yeah, 83. That sounds really good. I'll take that. 83 in Orlando, 84 degrees in the villages, upper 70s along the shoreline. So it's going to be a nice and we'll call it a toasty warm day. Average high is 74. So we're going to be above average. We can deal with that, right? Now, pool forecast looking great if you have a heated pool. If you don't, forget about it, right? Let's look at the beach forecast, for example. I built this today because with the sun, I know people are going to want to go to the beach, but I need to make sure everybody knows what they're getting themselves into. Okay? 70s for highs on the beach. It'll be 80s inland, but we'll just say 70s for highs on the beach. Surf running 1 to 2 feet. Water temperatures in the 50s. Okay, so that's a little chilly. Got it. Point taken, point received. I hear ya. Got it. So just know this. Just know this. If you're going to go to the beach today, I don't suspect it will be beach weather in the water. Now, on the sand, that's fine. But in the water, probably not. Jeannie Rowan says, go to the beach, but do not get in the water. Yeah, that's kind of the idea. That's kind of the idea. Yeah. UV index today, by the way, running at a 5.6. So you got about 45 minutes until you get sunburnt. But honest to goodness, no matter how you slice it, this weekend is looking just awesome. Just awesome. 80s for highs both days. Whatever you're wanting to do, go outside and do it. Right? Jeannie Rowan says plus sharks. I mean, they're there whether you are or not. They're there during the summer. They're there during the winter. It's their world. We're just swimming with them, right? Now, 7-day forecast is going to reveal a warming stretch. Next week, 85, 86, 87 degrees. We will be near records, right? So let's take a look at it. Central Florida's certified most accurate 7-day forecast showing those warming temperatures, right? This weekend's great. Early next week's great. Mid next week, it's getting a little toasty. We can handle it. It's just going to be a little warm. Now, Thursday, Friday, notice a couple of showers. There's a weak little front that kind of tries to sneak in. It's not going to do a ton to cool temperatures. It'll pop the heat bubble a little bit, but it's not going to like cool temperatures a ton, right? So that's where we're at. We're looking good. It's just a few showers Friday. The good news, because I know you're going to ask, the good news is that, yes, we have showers in there for Friday, but it does look like we'll go eventually to a nice setup for the 500. So we've got our first call on the Daytona 500. It's a week from tomorrow. For now, watching the shower chances, but comfortable temps at least. Okay. Then after that, we've got some changes, right? So essentially Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, it looks like more than likely it's going to be after the race. We could see a few showers, but during the day, Monday, we do watch a cold front move through. And the 17th, so the 16th of February, 17th of February, that's when we look to have a cold front sliding through. But look what happens afterward. Cold front. High temperatures for Tuesday, February 18th, 60s and 70s. So we do have some changes moving our direction, but it's not going to be just yet. So we do have to get through kind of the warmer weather that we have ahead, but just know that there is at least a cold front on the horizon. So there you go. There it is. Just say no to 87. Can you tell the pollen to stop marinating us for the roast we're about to get? Oh yeah, look, the pollen is just awful. Let's see here. I made the forecast, but I forgot to show it on the air this morning. Not that you need me to tell you, but yeah, the pollen counts are high. Cool. It's like a little Old Bay, just seasoning all of us. Love that. So that's where we're at. Pollen is the season, yeah, and we're kind of getting there. Cindy says, washed my pretty black car Thursday. Yesterday was green with pollen. Yeah, it's true. It's true. Oh well. Please, good weather. I will be at the track Wednesday through Monday, maybe Saturday off. There you go. There you go. Julie says we can't catch a break. It's either cold or hot. A string of 70s would be nice. Well, and that's, that's a big part of looking at the long range pattern that Jeremy and I have been looking at is there's a more active part of the pattern and then there's like a dead quiet part of the pattern. So we've been in the quiet part of the pattern, but we transition, and I've said this for a while now, we transition to the more active part of the pattern late February into March, right? So let's do this. Let's look at some of the kind of long range stuff and just kind of get an idea of where we're at, okay? So here's the American GFS model. We're just gonna get through the 11th. There's a little front coming through the fading the Saturday the 16th. So there's that 16th, 17th, 18th, 19th. There's a decent storm system. Now this signature here, I got to tell you, is going to be the first signature that we've seen in a while. This February 21st part of the pattern, that there's an indication that we could be talking about a severe threat. It's a little early to get into specificity, but the last 3 days or so, this has been interesting to watch. And as a matter of fact, I have to go and look and see how it plays into our long range cycle, right? But that like 22nd, 23rd, little piece of energy there, and then another one there. That'll be interesting. 22nd into the 23rd. All right, so just keep in the back of your mind that that may get to be a little feistier. And then if we were to extrapolate this out even further, put the BSR up, give me a few seconds to get that calibrated. All right, so if we hit stop, if we hit back, and just go long range. This is a teleconnection that we use sometimes. It's not perfect, certainly, but at least it kind of gives us an idea. High pressure. All right, we got a little storm system in here. That's a pretty big signal. What are you? That's the 22nd, 23rd, 24th. So that's the BSR backing up what we saw in the GFS, would you believe? That's as far out as that goes. We can plug in the GFS to kind of cheat it and go a little further out. What are you? February 3rd, 4th, 5th. Interesting storm system there. Not talking tropical, but another opportunity. So we're looking at like the 22nd, 23rd for a severe threat, and then a week later, 3rd, 4th, 5th. This is the same part of the pattern that gave Florida snow. I'm not saying Florida's going to get snow, but there's a very clear-cut active part of the pattern. And then that 8th, 9th, 10th. So it's going to be like the 22nd, 23rd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 8th, 9th, 10th. So then you kind of get back into this active stretch again, right? So I feel like I've been saying this for a while that the end of February into early March absolutely looks to be a busier part of our weather pattern. Once I started dialing into our long range forecast cycle duration, that was, I think, the first thing that was really noted. And I think that's a very clear sign what we're seeing there on the extended stuff. So enjoy this little quiet stretch that we've got now, but understand it's not going to stay. All right? Questions, comments, concerns, thoughts? Let's see here. All y'all's comments. How close to 540 line? I mean, that's too far out. I'm not going to get into that specificity. We're looking at a teleconnection, for goodness sake. So I'm not going to get, too detailed into it. But stormier pattern is all I'm seeing. Carbon Fiber says that's a lot of lows. Yeah, it's definitely a lot of lows. So the pattern flips. And we knew that that was the case. We knew that it was a very active part of the pattern and a very quiet part of the pattern. So so when everybody was asking, like, are we going to get cold again? Are we going to get stormy again before summer? I was like, yeah. The whole time I've been saying, like, look for the end of February to early March being a very different pattern. And then about midway March into early April, we should shift back to a quieter stretch. Hopefully timing that out well for sun and fun, because I know, and there's the question. I see that popping up there now. So there you go. Yeah. I dispatch. You cursed me with the evil Q word. Why do you? Oh, John. Ay, that's harsh. Brad, can you show temps for the long range? when you're going long range, it's you can't really do that. You're just looking at overall patterns. With these storm systems, though, do include cold fronts. So there's that. But you can't do specificity in that. You've got to look at the broader scope. Tanya Rogers says, I just want some beach time. We've got it, but the water temperatures are cool. Give it a little while. We had the emergency managers at WESH this week, and the one thing that they were talking about is how beach season is usually, we usually started up a couple of weeks from now. Doesn't mean we're done. So, there's that, but um not done with the cooler air, but we get there. So yeah, Matt says I'm camping this year, so throwing some cooler nights. We'll see what we can do. Joanne says, Nick's coming down 28th, 30th. Spent a couple months after mom passed. She's bringing the yucky weather from the Catskills with her, except no snow. The snow is the rough stuff, and I'm sorry to hear about the passing. Yeah. Should we start fertilizing our lawns now? Well, I mean, my lawn's already starting to get going. I feel like it's probably not a bad idea. We do have a couple of showers there. You see Thursday, Friday. Mm, You know, do we get there eventually with more? Yeah, perhaps. We'll see how this plays, right? Yeah. All right. Questions, comments, concerns? How we doing? Everybody good? Beverly says I'm late. Well, you can watch the replay. We're here. We're still live, but you can, there's always the replay, right? All right. So that was a look at long range. We've got some nice stuff. Kara's asking any more cold fronts in our future. We just discussed it. So back it up. Back it up. You'll see it. Back the thing up. It's a real nice forecast. Won't you back that thing up? All right. Be the sunshine in someone else's day. Thank you all so much for hanging out for Coffee Talk. I'll see you on TV in a couple minutes and Coffee Talk tomorrow morning. Sound good?